So, Girls in Panzer, episode 12, the finale. Picking up where we last left off. So, Disciplinary Committee fucked with the wrong tank. They attacked this mouse tank thing, and it pushed their shit in and didn't give a fuck. So, Best Team took it as a challenge and stepped up like Best Team should. And it didn't end so well, but that's just adding drama to the finale, because if Best Team survived, then, like, GG, it would just end right there. They would win everything. But whatever. So, yeah, so eventually Disciplinary Committee's like, yeah, this sucks. Best Team's like, ah, man, we got cut from the enemy at the moment, whatever. So anyway, they continue on. They try to ambush the mouse a few times. Doesn't really work. They hide. Tank just doesn't give a fuck. They try again. They're realizing this is going nowhere. They retreat, and they're like, we're going to have to do another plan. So they scheme something up, and they're like, you know what? We're going to need the Student Council's trolling ability and the volleyball team's semi-awesomeness, because they have occasional moments or whatever. So like, you know what? Let's do this. So they have a stare down, whatever. Then they decide to ram each other at full speed, which isn't really much for the mouse, I think, but whatever. So the Student Council just lowers their tank turret or whatever and rams the shit out of the tank and starts pushing it up, which is a little sketchy because they're starting to get damaged, and inside, like, Half Glasses Girl is starting to trip the fuck out that they're gonna die, like, in a tiny tank grave or whatever, but whatever. Anyway, they distract them to Lolly Team and Automotive Club, start shooting, gets the tank to turn its turret, and then Volleyball Team decides, like, fuck it, let's do this, and climbs up on the tank, and just, they're like, you know what, I feel good here, I'm gonna park right here, and chill. And they're like, get the fuck off our tank, they're like, make me, bitch, and then, whatever. So, main team goes up on a hillside and shoots down on the tank in, I guess, some cracks that were there, some openings or whatever, and they managed to take down the mouse. And I was like, that was pretty legit. Like, I thought they were going to try to lift the tank and then shoot it from the underside or some crap, but I don't know. Maybe there was a weak point, but maybe not. I don't know. Whatever. So that continues off. They're like, alright, on to the next kill. And while they're moving away, Student Council's tank kind of is like, you know what? GG, enough trolling for the day. And yeah. So they're all like, oh man, win the game for us, Miho. You're the only one. We can only depend on you. And she's like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do this. And continues on. They eventually drive by a street, and the Angry German team's like there, and they follow them. But Lolly Team pretty much hung out there in the corner or some shit. And I was like, Angry Evil Miho, how did you not catch that? I've expected a lot more from you now. You were doing pretty cool stuff earlier, but whatever, hell. So, I guess Lolly Team follows them or something, or whatever. They all start splitting through the city, kind of like, I don't know, like if you're scheming Bomberman traps or whatever, but they're going through. I guess Lolly Team now, well, they explained the movie that they explained earlier. I know Imperial General or one of you guys or something mentioned the movie Kelly's Heroes, and they're like, oh, we're going to do Operation Kelly's Heroes and shit. And they managed to get behind this one tank, and they shoot at it, they can't hurt it, and they're like, what the fuck are we going to do? And then the Silent One, who has been in her own world throughout the entire freaking anime, finally decides to say one word, and she's like, where the shell casings are discarded. And they're like, what? And then they just shoot at it, and I guess they destroy it. I don't know, maybe that was a weak point, whatever. So eventually they continue on. Volleyball Team is trying to troll people. I suddenly realize how tiny their tank is compared to all the other tanks or whatever, but they're pretty much just fucking around. Duck Team, whatever, like duck hunt for them, 3 shots, everything's missing. They're like, ah ha ha, you're never gonna get me alive. So whatever. Lolly Team meets up the big tank from earlier that was like protecting the hillside, taking some shots or whatever, and now pretty much they're chasing it, they're shooting it, they couldn't get it, it makes a turn, then the Lolly leader is like, wait, hold up, and then they stop, and they take like a shot, barely nicks them or some shit, and they're like, fuck, 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 so they go in reverse. It's now this like weird reverse driving thing. They're trying to dodge the tank, I guess, turret, and they're like, you know what? The turret's really long. Why don't we just tackle the tank? So they tackle it. They're like, yeah, we're safe. Oh no, it's retreating. Oh no, keep at it. Blah, blah, blah. And eventually they're like, you know what? At the end of the hill, make a left. Or at the end of the road, make a left or whatever. And they make a left. I think they shoot or they get shot. I don't remember, but they like slide for a bit or whatever and tip over, which was weird because I thought the tank's really heavy, but maybe it's just really tall. Falls over. Big enemy tank gets fucked up horribly, falling off the edge or whatever. And that's it. So Lolly team's out. So then it goes to main team, and apparently Automobile Club's been doing something or whatever, but they've been setting up their position. So eventually main team enters this, I don't know, building area, high school, whatever thing, and Angry Miho or Evil Miho goes in, and then Automotive Club blocks the room, blocks the entrance, and they're like, "Hey buddies, how's it going?" And a battle begins with them or some shit. So they're just gonna guard that entrance, and Miho now gets a showdown fight club with her sister. So now it's finally gonna begin. They go around the, I don't even know what this place is. I'm just gonna call it a high school or whatever. But they go around there. They going through little paths and shit. And eventually, Evil Miho's like, enough of this shit. And I'm pretty sure she just shot one of the buildings in one of the side paths, knowing Miho was gonna turn there. Miho turns there, realizes, oh shit, my sister's like figuring some shit out. Reverse hits their turret before it could like align with them or some shit, and keeps going. Eventually, I think we get a thing of because I know main team takes some damage and loses like 2 platings or some shit. Volleyball team gets their shit pushed in massively. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but whatever. And Automotive Club is like taking some shots, and they're like, this looks a little sketchy, but they keep going, and eventually they get fucked up, but they have severely moved up on my list. Like, they are next to best team now because they have been doing great now, but whatever. I wish I would have seen more of them throughout the show. Anyway, so eventually even the other Germans are like, hey, move that tank out of the way, and they're like, ah, nope. So whatever. Miho continues on. They have these like more shot drive-by things. I think they play chicken for a moment, and Miho's tank moves away at the last second and shit like that. And eventually it just comes back to the first little zone that they're at, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna have to settle it right here, right now. And they pretty much conclude that they're gonna do the plan that they did way earlier with the British team or whatever that didn't end perfectly, but whatever. So they're like, all right, we're going to have to increase reload speed. You're going to have to be able to shoot really good. And best girl, can you do the driving? And she's like, yeah, but we're going to lose our treads. Whatever. Handle it. So they do it. They make a weird little Need for Speed move. Do a shot. Dodge a shot. Do a drift. Get behind them. Shoot. And everyone's staring intently. What happened? Who's going to win? Who actually did it? And Miho's kind of just like, it's really smoky here. And Evil Miho's like, yeah, it is. Ah, shit. And then, yeah. It's the anime. Come on, guys. Main team won. All of them win. That's it. Angry German team's done. Even, like, Angry German girl's pretty pissed off, because earlier she was like, don't be a hero, but whatever. So, yeah. So, GG. That's the end of the battles. And now they all eventually meet up, or the main teams and all that. They meet up. They're hanging out. Student council kind of has like an emotional chat, and like Half Glasses girl is brought to tears by the whole thing that Miho finally like won it for them. And student council president like leaps on Miho and hugs her and whatever and all that jazz. Eventually every little group is doing their own little thing. I think like internet group is doing some weird hand shaped thingy or whatever. Lolly team's like, fuck yeah, let's do this again. The volleyball team, I don't remember what the fuck they were doing. Probably something with volleyball, whatever. And, God, what else? Mechanic team is all happy. They're like, fuck yeah, more work, because they love repairing shit. And fuck it, they deserve it. They're pretty beasts now. They're high on the list. And best team, of course, is like, fuck it, cheer, we won, hell yeah. And also best girl, I guess, disciplinary committee girl deletes all her misses or absences or some shit so she could graduate. I think that was the deal earlier. Or she could go to the next grade or some crap. I don't remember what their deal was from like the earlier episodes, but whatever. So they're all happy and they continue on. Eventually Miho talks with her sister and she's like, I have finally found my way of tankery. And her sister's like, well, good for you. Fuck it. And then like leaves or whatever. So yeah. So eventually it ends with them in some city. I guess I'm assuming it's been a while because all the tanks are repaired or whatever. And they're like, for some reason, they're like, Miho, say something. And she's like, fuck it. And they just decide to go with the old school, like, fuck gravity float thing. And yeah, it And eventually they just drive off with the ending credits, and every character is shown individually with their own little picture of their own little face and shit. But yeah. And that's pretty much it. It's kind of disappointing that it's done. Like, I don't know, I really, really liked this. This was like my favorite anime of the season. This was like what I was waiting for every single week, and then for like 2 or 3 fucking months or whatever. But still, it really sucks that it's done. I'm gonna miss it, but still, it was pretty beast. I don't know if it'd get a season 2. I imagine it's possible, since I imagine all it'd be would be another tournament, another tank tournament and shit. But hell, what do I know? So yeah, other than that, it's been fun, guys, but that's pretty much the end of it. So thanks for watching. All the subs, thanks for all of them, all the views, all that stuff. Hopefully find something to review next, because I know more stuff is supposed to come out soon. And hopefully this isn't the last time we'll see something of Girls and Panzer. Maybe at least a couple more OVAs. But yeah. So if you like the video, like it. If you want more, subscribe. And yeah, thanks for the support and everything. Later.